Hello everyone, I am Taureor and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. I haven't played this game in a few months, and now that I'm done recording my Ryukyu campaign for EU4, it'll take time for it to be uploaded. I'm not going to do that too frequently, once a week only, because it did take me a long time to prepare that. Anyway, now I'd like to play some Hearts of Iron 4, but in the meantime, I haven't been playing it, and I realized something. I realized that the part I enjoy the most is the beginning, is the planning phase, and seeing if the opener works. So I decided to try out a new format, which will be just showing off the openers I believe are the best for a certain country, and discussing it with you. Possibly, if you have some ideas how you would adjust the opener, let me know in the comments. And we're not going to play through the whole campaign. We're just doing the openers and seeing if they work, and then moving on to a different country. Let me know if you like that idea. And for starters, we'll go with Germany because it is the most obvious choice for this game. I'll be doing regular difficulty and historical AI focuses because, well, it's the most default way to play, and not Ironman because, this is just testing strategies for single player, not any achievement runs or anything, so Ironman is unnecessary here. And also I'll try to make each of these just a single episode, so we can contain everything in that. Okay, let's go. I already tried doing this once, but I miscalculated the world tension. And, well, the autosaves weren't kind, so I have to start over. Basically, my opener for Germany is to not fight the Allies, but take over the Soviet Union before it can become a danger. So, we're going to attack Poland as soon as possible with minimal world tension. And we're also going to produce a lot of weak units and be deploying them. Actually, let's go for infinity. And as for research, I prefer to start with this and this, because it gives a boost to our industry. I also like to do construction, but it's not the most important choice. I think we'll benefit more from doing the infantry research and possibly a doctrine research. You could swap around the doctrine as Germany, all of that would work out, of course. I'll build up some civilian factories. It's usually a good choice to do that in single-player games, I believe, because they will let you restore all the conquered stuff faster and build up more factories later on faster as well. For multiplayer, it's different. As for military factories, we're going to get a lot of infantry equipment, because this is going to be our primary selection. We're going to be making tons and tons of infantry. Okay, let's get more artillery as well. As for tanks and motorized, it is less important, but I will still buy the resources necessary. Or at least, do I need that, really? I don't need the planes that much, so I'm going to buy 1 oil and 1 rubber. This is oil and rubber. Yeah, that works. Okay. As for the focus, Rhineland is the obvious choice, but we're not doing a focus just yet. Adolf Hitler is a very powerful leader here. He has a plus 25% political power gain. And I'm not doing a focus yet because I need to justify a war goal against Poland as soon as possible. And that costs 50 total political power, which means I'm not going to take a focus until I get that amount. Okay, I guess I can unpause now, and let's speed this up. And I have overclocked my processor recently a little bit. I should probably do a video review of the cooler that I got. Anyway, that means it should run smoothly at high speeds, in theory. Okay, and we're at 50. Now, the main problem here is not getting Poland guaranteed by the United Kingdom, because we don't want to fight the Allies yet. And now I can choose a focus. It's going to be Rhineland. So, we can do Anschluss, but we can't do Sudetenland. Why is that? Well, I have tested that, and that's too much. That is too much world tension. And I'm going to be deploying these as soon as I can, because Anschluss requires me to have 550,000 manpower in the field. We don't have that yet. Okay, I guess I can set up the planes and all that a bit later. Let's continue. And as you can see, if we go over here, I forgot to set this as the priority and the upgrades as the lowest priority, which we should have done immediately. Because we want to deploy these as soon as possible. And I'm gonna. Come on. They just need to train to 20%, I believe, to be deployable. Is it 20%? Oh. Let's, why the hell can't... Ah, crap, I haven't selected the location. Okay, that was dumb. I could have done that earlier. Anyway, we need 550,000 manpower in the field. And I could have deployed them earlier. It's a pity that I haven't. Oh, I could have counted. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to be deploying them as soon as possible, and we're also going to be watching Poland for being guaranteed, because the world tension can ruin our plans. The militarization of Rhineland, that is fine. And now I want to do Anschluss. Now I could do something else before we do Anschluss, but prioritizing Anschluss will be great for our economy, and I don't need to wait that long to do it. I do have enough political power to modify the government, and I believe the best choice is a silent workers, actually 2 of them, early on, to get more political power and modify the government again and again. Okay, let's wait with the second selection of our focus until we can get enough manpower in the field to do the Anschluss, and we can monitor it here. 509, we need 550. 528. You can see we won't have to wait long. Come on, come on. Just a bit longer. Okay, we have finished the research. I'm going with mechanical computing because it also boosts all the other research. Alright, Anschluss, not just yet. We are at 528. But the next batch should do the trick. And we're there. We can do Anschluss. That's a bit early, isn't it? Anschluss will give us Austria, if all goes well, some extra troops, some extra industry, and some extra resources, but it will also increase in the world tension. We could also get Sudetenland and all that, but that would get Poland guaranteed by everyone. Well, by United Kingdom, which is a bit of a problem for us. So we're not going to do that. Whoops. Let's cancel everything. Right, just go this way. That is enough, because we're going to be so much stronger than they are. Now also, let's select all of the planes. Is there a... don't remember. Shift selection? No. Then we just have to do it... oh, maybe from this. Yeah, from this screen. I will transfer all of the flying units here. And then give them orders to take care of Western Poland. And do the basic bombardment and stuff. Same with you. Now it pains me to do so because I myself am Polish. But hey, it's just a game. Alright, we need to assign a field marshal here. And the best field marshal that we have is this guy. Entrenchment and combat width. Combat width is quite a nice thing, but we're not going into that too much since well, it's the more advanced stuff, and I just want to focus on the basic war plan to keep this video brief. Now I also need some troops here, but I think I'll go... I'll use the Anschluss troops on that. As we started doing Anschluss, I don't need to deploy so many units anymore. I could focus on getting the ones we have up to speed. Then again, some extra units could be helpful. I mean, we're going to overwhelm them anyway. But we'll need a lot more troops to deal with the Soviet Union because the front line is going to be very wide. So I am going to continue deploying them in the field, which is a bit too early, and they will be untrained because of that. Maybe that is a mistake. Maybe I should let them train. Although a lot of untrained units can do quite well. Yeah, I'll keep deploying them. We need all our manpower in the field. Well, not all of it, but a lot of manpower in the field. Now we have enough to select the second silent workhorse, which is the best selection, in my opinion. And I'm just doing basic infantry because we want to take over the Soviet Union as soon as possible. And for that we need lots of units, and they don't need to be strong because the Soviet troops will be shit. Now, we could go with something not ahead of time, but I'm going with stuff ahead of time. Why? Well, because we're relying heavily on infantry in this opener, and that's gonna work out great. Now, I'm going to select concentrated over dispersed industry, because it gives a better bonus to your factories. This is better against bombardment and all that, well, you shouldn't let them bombard you anyway. Alright then, how's the Anschluss going? Quite well, it's almost there. Should I be deploying them, or should I let them train a bit? No, I'll still deploy them. They'll train in the field. Right, Italy increased the world tension a bit. We have to be cautious, because if the world tension goes too high... Yay! We got Austria. If the world tension goes too high, Poland will be guaranteed by the UK. This is going to be a second army that is going to attack from over here. Yeah. I'm just going to keep... actually, there's too many of you. Let's give it to a general. So 24 is more than enough. And let's give it to a good general. Like, this guy is the best general we have. Okay, perfect. The Anschluss of Austria has happened. Question of Yugoslavia. Yeah, I put some squeeze on them. And now I could theoretically go with the Sudetenland, because we do have enough. Manpower to do that. However, this increases world tension and would make Poland guaranteed. So instead, we could go with this or this, and I think I should. This is good for tanks. I guess I could go with one of those. Anti-Soviet Pact, which one is that? I don't remember. This one. Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. We don't want that. But I do want army innovations. Let's do army innovations. And I can modify the government. Now, there are a few choices here. We could go with the background backstabber for extra political power. But 5% is not that much. We could go with the captain of industry for better civilian factory and infrastructure building. Or we could go with better economy. And we could go to war economy. And I believe this is the best choice at this moment. Because it will improve our production quite a lot. And after that, I think we'll go with the captain of industry. Now, as you can see, Poland is still not guaranteed by anyone. Yeah, let's deploy some more troops. And yes, I know they're shitty, but they'll do. Wait a minute. Why are you not in position? Are you in position? Oh, right, yeah. You're the ones I unassigned. To make sure you're all in this army. And assign you orders. And now you're assigned. Perfect. Yeah, just some shitty infantry. We want lots of them because that will be necessary to keep the very wide front lines. I could let them train up a bit more, but we'll be fine this way. We really will. Okay, that's enough, I think. The rest, we want them in the field when we are attacking, which is in 2 months. So I'll keep deploying. I'll keep deploying and I'll keep assigning. Now, this is not the most This is not the most efficient method of doing this, but it will work out nicely. Alright, also execute the plans as soon as possible. And the world tension is only at 23.8. Showing our best side to the world when we're plotting in secret to overthrow the world order. Maybe I don't need to set up all these troops here. Organization too low to advance. Well, not for long. Okay, now we could do treaty with the USSR, which would give us some extra research buffs. I'm not sure if this will go away when we declare war on them. I'm not sure. It might. Or I could do... I'm actually going for demanding Sudetenland. Why? Well, because when it finishes, we'll be at war with Poland already. And no amount of guaranteeing will help them at that point. Okay, any troops to deploy? Not yet. Oh, we can modify the government again. Now we could do... we could do Captain of Industry, but we're about to attack. So I think an infantry expert would be... or an armor genius, that's also useful, but if you're relying on armor, we're not relying on infantry here. Because I'm doing a swift attack, we couldn't do enough tanks in time. But it's also a valid strategy to rely on tanks. Or we could do one of these. But what I will do, I'm a maneuver expert. Nice, nice. Army offense expert, 10% all divisions attack, and this is 10% infantry attack and 15% infantry defense. Well, most of our troops is infantry, so I'm going with this guy first. Okay, everyone here. Get in position, get ready to attack. I realize our troops will be underperforming, but we will be okay. We need as many as possible for our attack on the Soviet Union, which will come shortly after this. Come on, almost there. And then the reinforcements. Yes, we have our war goal, and as you can see, they are not guaranteed. Okay, let's assign everyone, and let us attack. It is time to attack. So, declare war, conquer, whatever. We don't have any allies to call. Here we go. Now, the world tension will be horrible. I can justify the war goal on the Soviet Union, but it's gonna take a while. And I couldn't do that before because justifying all these war goals simultaneously would certainly make Britain guarantee Poland. As you can see, winning this war is not a problem. It's painfully easy. Painfully because I'm Polish, and it pains me to see this. Anyway... 220 days to justify war goal against the Soviet Union. I could start right now, although I'm not sure if that will not bring the world tension up enough for Britain to ally Poland. Also, I am not certain if the high world tension that will come from us taking over Poland right now won't let me justify it faster. Okay, so, Poland, take all states. We've annexed Poland. As you can see, that was quite quick, wasn't it? Alright. Let's assign all our units to this single army, deploy all the units, assign them to this front here, and give them an order. And that's my favorite kind of order. Just go until you have nowhere else to go and take over everything on your way. Feed your cats. None. No factories. Ah, right, yeah, sure. Let's do some extra convoys or whatever. As you can see, we've taken over Poland. And now we're going to wait 1 day and justify war goal on the Soviet Union. This is going to take a while. 210 days. I could have started it before, and I could test another opening strategy, because justifying the war goal on Poland and the Soviet Union simultaneously maybe would have been better. Maybe even if I had to give up Anschluss for that. But this is something that can be fine-tuned. What I want to test in this is take over Poland without fighting the Allies, and then take out the Soviet Union and dominate the world easily. That is the plan, basically. Okay, let's take over. Let's take all the planes and get some of them over here, and some of them over here. Did I do this right? I don't think I did this right. Alright, you. You there. Why are there still planes here? And you will all be assigned over here. And some of you will be assigned over here. This will work out. We're not going to be concerned about the details too much. We're gonna have air superiority anyway. Okay, maybe it would have been better if I started justifying on the Soviet Union earlier, but I want them to do the purges. Did they do the purges? Can I see if they did the purges? I can't see if they did the purges. I probably should have checked that. Probably. Trotsky plot, minus 20%. Doesn't that get rid of that? The Great Purge. Effect, show trials, officers purged. Land doctrine research time. Remove national spirit Trotsky plot. Yeah, this has not been done yet. And if we attack them right after the purges, they will be very vulnerable. And if I'm understanding this correctly, they should do the purges soon. Okay, and guys are suffering attrition. That is unfortunate. And we have taken Sudetenland, as you can see, for free. And that would be a problem for us attacking Poland, but, you know, we can go for the fate of Czechoslovakia now, or we can demand Slovenia, or do some completely different stuff. I think I would maybe like to ask for this. What exactly happens? Yeah, that gets event London Conference. I'm not sure if they will attack us for this. I don't remember. I think I'll go with fate of Czechoslovakia because this is quite good territory. Alright, we are suffering some attrition. Is that because you're going through difficult terrain? Yes, it's mostly gone now. There's a bit, but it's fine. Oh. And the Soviets are defending fiercely and also already. But now all our stuff is going for reinforcements. Infantry equipment, support equipment, and artillery. I need more artillery, by the way. Right. And by the time we have our war goal ready, they should have done the purges and we should be ready to destroy them. As for modifying the government, I'm going with the captain of industry. They'll help our factories a bit, and after that I'll go with an offensive expert, I think. Okay, this unit, why are you walking around all the time? Just stop that. Concentrated industry and mechanical computing have been researched. Alright, what year is this? Still 36. Let's go with construction. And I shall go with all the infantry buffs that I can go with, even if they're ahead of time, because I've made so much infantry. Now, theoretically, I could adjust my infantry unit template. What is the combat width? Combat width is 18. I believe our best choice is to have the combat width of 22. This is slightly more advanced, I guess. Combat width 20, combat width 22. Because this will be the most optimal way to fight them. And I theoretically could add the recon companies as well. Sure, let's do that, whatever. Doesn't matter that much. I could even add engineers and stuff. I think we will be fine though. Right, be super aggressive. As you can see, we're not missing as much equipment as we might, you know, be worried about. It's gonna be fine. We're just gonna be missing some infantry equipment when the fighting starts. And the fighting will start. As you can see, they're now doing the Great Purge. Once this is done, their armies will be significantly weaker and will just cut through them like Barston Selmy would cut through the King's Guard. And let's do Fate of Czechoslovakia, because that will give us Czechoslovakia. The beautiful thing about this plan is that the Allies will not ally or guarantee the Soviet Union. So by cutting through Poland early, getting ready to fight the Soviet Union, we can fight them on their own, and we can beat them. We could ally Italy if we wanted to, but we don't really have to. We'll be able to deal with them on our own. Now I realize our troops are not the best. 26% current fighting strength, but I'm not building any new troops right now. Or maybe I should be, but set them at low priority. So now, don't need upgrades. Add tons of units. Deploy them somewhere in Poland. But they are middle priority. So if we have some leftover equipment, then you... Actually, no, this was a mistake. We need the manpower for reinforcements. Let's forget that. We don't have enough manpower. I need to use... Oh, right, I can do this. Limited conscription. We can do service by requirement, but it has some negatives. Extensive conscription doesn't really have any negatives, and it will give us a lot of manpower. And now we can do all the units. Because we're not missing manpower anymore. Okay, like 50 divisions. And they are middle priority, so reinforcements come first, and then we do the new ones, and upgrades we don't care about. Alright. Need some chromium for the tanks. I'm gonna ignore that. We'll be okay anyway. So, how long until this is done? We're halfway through, pretty much. Alright, I could have timed it better. Basically, the perfect way to do this would be to start justifying the moment they start researching the Great Purge. But, yeah, you know. Okay, Blitzkrieg on mobile infantry. That's tanks, and that's motorized. We're not really doing any of these. I could have gone with a better set of doctrines for that. I think this is better for us. Mass motorization. All infantry, or all normal infantry. We'll get buffs from this. This will not give our infantry stuff. Yeah, I probably should have checked and changed this, but we're only checking the general idea. So I'm going with the default. Okay, as you can see, we need tons more infantry equipment. Okay, the fate of Czechoslovakia. Partition with Hungary. All belongs to the Reich. Or puppet state. Yeah, that. Hello, did I annex your troops as well? No, they disbanded. Well, but it does buff my manpower and industry significantly. They were very well defended. But it didn't do them much good. We have no national focus set. I should do something about it. Now, we could do the Second Vienna Award and form an alliance with Italy. That could be helpful, but if Italy got into a different war, that could be problematic. And also, Italy could demand something from the USSR. But you don't have to call them in. Okay, I'll do the alliance with Italy. This really is all, you know, it's not super important for this opener. You can choose whatever you want. The basic thing is to beat up Poland and go to the Soviet Union immediately. And we're going to see just how well that works out for us. Okay. In trading, 600,000 people. And now we're not going to deploy them prematurely. As you can see, the reinforcements are filling up quite quickly. Our industry is doing a great job, although I do need more support equipment. Okay, justification is ready. Now I can attack now, or I can wait for the purge to be over. Well, not really, I can wait like a month. But I think we're trying stuff out, so why not try stuff out? Let's go. And modified government by a military high command guy, or chief of army. Organization, division attack, division speed, training time. I guess organization is quite useful. Let's do this. Now our troops are not perfectly trained. Trans-joined allies. It doesn't concern us because we're not at war with the allies. Now this is going to be problematic because we're not at full fighting strength and all that. But again, remember, this is a testing situation and we're getting volunteers. Sure. And maybe I shouldn't be so aggressive. Let's go to, balanced. Now, now this seems pretty balanced and they're winning. Well, they're not winning, but they're not losing either. But this will all change as soon as this is done. Okay. Do we want to give Hungary? Transylvania shall remain in Romania. Kingdom of Hungary, Second Vienna Award, yada yada, or Northern Transylvania. You know what, Hungary is gonna be my ally. Here you go, have that. Yay! Romania rejects us. Which means I now have a reason to attack Romania, but Romania is guaranteed. So we're not gonna do that. Oh, construction's done. Yeah, sure. We can invite Hungary to the faction. Sure, I will. Why then hell not? I could go for a full conquest and just, conquer them, but it doesn't really matter. And we have a research slot available. It's 37 now, so I'm going with concentrated industry. Okay, and I couldn't call them in to the war. I don't have to, though. We're going to let that go for now. Just until we... oh! Cool! The AI has been improved because the AI never used to do naval landings in your territory previously. Okay, I'm gonna call in Hungary. Why not? It won't really matter, they don't have a lot of troops, but maybe they'll deal with this because I don't want to. Or I could deploy some extra troops, I guess. And let them deal with it. Italy, you want to join me yet? Not just yet, no. But I can use the focus to do that. Alliance with Italy. As soon as the purges are done, they will start losing, you'll see. And... yeah, I could have timed it better. I was just testing the general idea. And now they should start losing badly. So let's set you to aggressive and let you do whatever you want. In the meantime, I need to do something about this. Yeah, this is new to me because I haven't played for a while, and it seems the AI was actually improved because I never used to do that before. When playing single player, you basically were safe from naval invasions, and that's a welcome improvement, actually. Very welcome indeed. All right, I guess I'll do better construction. We can modify the government. Let's increase our military high command, guys. Army logistics, division attrition. This will be important in Russia. Okay, can I deploy these guys yet? Well, one of them. Yeah. We can still win this, but the fall of Berlin was very unfortunate. Alright, this might be sufficient. Just give you a general. Now, this is a problem obviously for this game, but this is just a test game. So I don't really care, and also I'm very happy that they're actually doing this. That the AI has been changed in such a way that it's actually doing this. Now we could, you know, manage them manually and cut them off from the shore, and that would have been much easier, but let's have a closer look on what's going on here. Yeah, I probably should have done more tanks. Anyway, we are cutting through the Russian resistance here. They are cutting through our territory in this area, though, which is a bit of a problem. I guess I could take some troops back. Right, I should do manual. Probably. We're done with the alliance with Italy. And now we're allied with Italy, aren't we? So with that... Do they need to respond or something? Maybe we can't be at war for this. Okay, I must say the Soviet Union surprised me in this. The AI surprised me, and it's a good surprise. They never did any naval stuff before. Cool. I mean, good cool and also bad cool, but cool. Interesting. Okay, I think I'm gonna try this again. I'm not sure if I'll upload this one. Yeah, why not? Why not? This was supposed to be a quick strategy testing kind of thing, not a whole campaign kind of thing. So now that we know that the AI is actually doing naval invasions, which it never used to do before. But then again, I haven't really played the game since ParadoxCon, and these changes were introduced around that time, I guess. Okay, so let's suppose we left a small unit here. Or rather, you know what? Let's just do it like that. Everyone be assigned here. Do the attack. Be aggressive and all that. Go. Yeah, if we assume that I'd have left some troops here, you can see how quickly we're cutting through the Russians. The key to this is getting, you know, a border with them, obviously, and also catching them when they do the purges. In this game, my timing could have been better. Still, yeah, of course we did lose Berlin, which is a shitty way to do things. But in general, the attack is successful. The defense isn't. Yes, I know that. But that would easily be rectified if I left like 20 units here. Go. Okay, is this enough to cut them off? It's a pity that the alliance with Italy didn't work. Negative. As a major nation, we have a war they might be drawn in. Yes, of course you do. Interesting. Oh, are we losing territory actually? Maybe I should leave more troops here. Okay, so this strategy was not successful because of two things. First of all, we attacked the Soviet Union a bit too early. They didn't complete the purges. Well, three reasons basically. Second of all, we didn't leave a defensive army in here. And third thing, we attacked before forming the alliance with Italy. I'm a bit rusty with Hearts of Iron, but I do enjoy, you know, testing setups, strategies, and all that. I can invite a faction. I can invite Japan. Sure, I will. And I can call them in. They might put some pressure on them from the other side. Yes, whatever. Wait a minute, did you just merge my wars? No. Right. So this is trouble, basically. But if I left a small army behind to defend against a naval invasion, it would have been fine. I didn't, because, as I said, the AI has only recently learned how to do naval invasions successfully. If I could make Italy join me, it would probably rectify this problem. Then again, if I can reach Moscow quickly, that might also rectify this problem. You know what? I'll give the other guys some more troops. What is this? Yugoslavia requests sale of airplanes. Sure, you can have the fighters, whatever. Okay, now all of you assign here. Do the balanced thing. Attack. Now this weakened front should still be doing fine, while the influx of troops might let these guys push the Soviets back to the sea. It might also not, I don't know. Again, this is just testing out stuff. And I'm not really paying attention that much, because as you can see I'm playing on the highest speed. I guess I could do radio. Okay, you should retake Prague, it's important. Right, if I wasn't playing this on, you know, the highest speeds and not really caring for the details, what I would have done was, would be do this, and possibly this, and also send a tank division to just cut them off from the ports, so they would have no supply. And that's perfectly doable, but I want to see if, you know, just doing the basic orders will be enough. Yeah, I could just take a tank division and make it go this way. Japan, China. Sure, whatever. Oh, as you can see, this seems to be enough to push them back. Well, this seems to be enough to continue the offensive. Right. I can attack Romania, but it's guaranteed by the Allies, so we don't want to do that. Let's buff our guy a bit. Division recovery rate, this is good. Now, if I went with armor stuff, that would have been maybe better. Infantry equipment research time, good. What else could I do with all the political power that we have gained? Blitzkrieg theorist. Armor max speed, this is good. Dive bomber, no. Naval theorist, no. Nuclear scientist, useful later on. Rocket scientist. Yeah, the Blitzkrieg thing is good here. And a new focus. I guess at this point it doesn't really matter that much. I guess I could demand Slovenia. Or do the anti-Comintern. All these. Industrial effort is always helpful. Demand Slovenia. Okay, as you can see, we're advancing. The worst thing the Soviets can do is the purges. Early on, if it's a multiplayer game, or any game against a human. Ooh, as you can see, we ran out of manpower. I didn't take that into account. I guess I can do service by requirement. That is going to decrease our factory output a bit. This is necessary for reinforcement. Oh. I suppose I could deploy these guys. Add them here. Yeah, I forgot about them. Now this decreases our factory output, but it's going to help us field a large army. As I said many times already, this is a mistake we could have avoided, but I think I don't have to restart or load the game or whatever. I think I can still make this work, you know, just using simple orders and playing on speed 5. Okay, our guys are starting to slow down here. We should go for balanced now. Yeah, it seems like I maybe pulled out too many troops. How aggressive are you? Maybe you should be more aggressive, because now you have more troops. Yeah, it seems to be working. You know, just the basic stuff. Alright, we cut them down here. We're gonna retake Berlin soon. Then I can assign a lot of these troops back here, so that they can take the Soviet Union for us. As for modifying the government, basically this is not a perfect game. This is not a well thought out strategy. What you're witnessing here is basically how I test my strategies. So I thought you might want some insight into this process. And let me know, by all means, if you're enjoying this and what you would have done differently. Of course, apart from actually defending our coast. Alright, we're almost done here. We've almost cleared the mistake from earlier. And I can send these troops back to the main front, or at least some of them. Okay, cutting down the last bits of resistance. Improved machine tools are done. That's good, of course, that's good. Do I have any free factories? No, not right now. But the construction, possibly. You know what, as I'm relying almost exclusively on infantry, I'm going to do these ahead of time. Oh right, we're pushing the enemy almost to the sea. Cutting them off from the ports and killing the remaining bits. Perfect. Just do this manually. Okay, almost done. Let's have a look on the eastern front. Oh, you've left Crimea. Why did you leave Crimea? Get me Crimea. Okay, almost done here. And now I am going to send 3/4 of this army here and assign them all to the main front line. Here you go. And we're done with the radio research. Not that it was... Oh, Lend-Lease. Sure. Why not? and I can invite Italy to faction. Now we could do it on our own without them even if we wanted to. As you can see, we are winning right now. But why not accept help, right? It's not like they're gonna steal Russia from us. Okay, this is quite simple. Right, we're done with some research. I guess I could do this ahead of time for extra research in other fields, or I could go for these. Or I could go... Well, if I was, playing this seriously, I would have gone with these, hospital and logistics, probably, and maybe signal company, and added those. Those would have been very helpful in Russia. We're a bit late on this, though. I'm gonna ignore resistance and stuff like that. Yeah, some of you need to go this way. I'm actually gonna assign you this border. And you're gonna get an order like this. Make sure everyone follows these orders, attack and all that. Perfect. Now, back to the Eastern Front. As you can see, the reinforcements are arriving. Still not there, but almost there. Modified government and new national focus. I'm choosing the foci pretty randomly right now. Probably should have gone for the extra research slot earlier. It's not crucially important for whether the main strategy will work or not. Tank designer, do we want a tank designer? Not really, no. Guess I could do that. Heavy, hard attack, soft attack, reliability, speed. This is pretty good if you go for heavy tanks. Okay, I'm gonna switch you back to aggressive because you have gotten more troops now and you should be able to handle it. Now this army will stay here and deal with any other naval invasions that might happen, and we should have done that from the start. Yeah, I find it more satisfying to salvage an unsuccessful run than to just have a perfect one. So this was actually satisfying to me, mainly because I didn't expect the AI to play so well. To do a naval invasion when they see an exposed coast. But, now the strength of the German army is killing them. We still need a lot of production. But mainly we're okay. Should probably buy tungsten. Okay, how far are they from capitulation? Pretty far. But right now we can just sit back and relax. Oh, did I call Italy back to the war or not? Oh, I did, and first troops are already arriving, it seems. But they haven't really done anything. They haven't done any fighting yet, and neither has Hungary. Although Japan has. Hey Japan, how you doing? They're actually helpful. Okay. They are actually helpful. Alright, we're about to take Moscow. Although we'll need to go probably this far before they'll surrender. Okay, we're slowing it down a bit. Spreading the front line. Maybe I shouldn't be on aggressive all the time. For Sevastopol and Stalingrad. And now it's Moscow. When we have a look here. Yep, their national unity is not that bad. Collectivist propaganda. But we have taken Moscow. And if you have a look here, you'll see they're pretty close to surrendering. And when they surrender, we win because the rest of the participants are their puppets. And you will notice that the United Kingdom or France have not joined the war yet. And I'm basically just, giving general orders and letting the game run on its own. Not doing any clever manipulation or anything like that. We need more support equipment and we need more infantry equipment, but most importantly we do need the infantry equipment. Oh, wait a minute. No, I haven't researched infantry equipment 2 yet. Pity, would have been helpful. Now we have a lot of... what's this? We have a lot of political power we could use on these guys, but at this point, when you get enough political power, it is sometimes good to replace these guys with someone more useful. For example, military factory construction speed guys. Or, you know, change your ideology or whatever. I could also change the exports, but I'm not getting into the economy too much for now. I'll just leave it as is and wait until our troops can conquer the Soviet Union. Right, this is better infantry equipment. And that means... yeah, this was ahead of time, it was imperfect to choose that. But we can buff our infantry quite significantly by just upgrading this. Also, make some more. And I could even do this. I know it's ahead of time, but if we're going all infantry, this can be quite helpful. Especially the passive bonuses. Okay, I don't think there will be any more naval incursions because we're about to take Leningrad. And taking Leningrad would actually probably make them surrender. Although we're making more advances down here. Okay. 89% towards a victory. It controls 33%. It needs to control 25% or less. Yeah, this is usually not a sound battle plan. Just drawing a line across all of the enemy territory. But I just wanted to show you how easy it is for Germany to conquer the Soviet Union, you know, without paying too much attention, even if you do the right opener. And I believe that is the correct opener for this. That is my default opener for Germany, although now that the game has changed a bit, I would adjust it to leave some troops to defend against a naval invasion, and maybe form an alliance with Italy a little bit earlier, although they're not really doing anything in this war, are they? Okay, can I take Leningrad and fall of Baku? We've taken Leningrad, they should surrender now. And so they have. We have taken tons of equipment. So, as you can see, Japan did get some stuff. I can't take all states. I could pass and then take all states. It's a bit too much. Okay, how do you clear this? Let's pass once. They have taken... You've puppeted Mongolia. Yeah, whatever. Oh, I can't take all states anymore. To do it manually? No. Wait a minute. Bloody hell. I thought there was the option to take all the remaining states. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have called anyone into the war, because we basically won it alone. Japan helped a bit, but only a tiny bit. And this is quite tedious to do manually, don't you think? So yeah, the adjusted opener would be leave some troops behind to defend against a naval invasion. That's number one. Number two would be leave, or rather wait a bit longer so that the Soviet Union actually starts the purges before you attack. This way you'll avoid losing some troops that you wouldn't have lost otherwise. And the third thing is don't call anyone into the war, because it will be much simpler and more pleasant in the peace deal if you don't. Just take all states from everyone. We're almost done. Japan will have taken a bit. But we're fine, they're friends. We will use them against the UK and the United States. Although, one other thing I would do, possibly, is change the ideology of the United States to fascist, using our political influence, so that they would not join the Allies, but rather join us. Okay, is this everything? Let's end the turn. Yep. But as you can see, this was just a basic opener, and you can see how well we did with that. Even though we got attacked and screwed over and had to salvage the situation. It's 1938, we own the Soviet Union, and you can simply pick off the Allies one by one now, or just attack them all. You'll manage. You're Germany. Strong enough. Yeah, as for the United States, they can be problematic unless you attack them early, or unless they, not do anything for a long time. What we could do is boost party popularity and send fascists there so that they would change their ideology towards us, and maybe even join us as a friend temporarily. Or we could just ignore them completely, take over the United Kingdom and France and everything else in the area, and then send a huge naval invasion that would destroy them, or bomb them nuclearly. There's lots of possible options. Anyway, that is my opener for Germany, adjusted for some chaos that happened in the meantime, and for me being rusty and not playing the game for a long time. Let me know what you think about it, let me know what your choices would be, what you would do differently, what you would do the same way, and let me know if you like this format, because if you do, I might make way more openers. Like, make an opener for Poland, for Italy, for France, for the Soviet Union. You did see my campaigns playing as some of them, like Norway or even Albania. So, yeah, I have thoughts on almost every country. Well, maybe apart from the South American ones, because most of them are limited by the United States policy of guaranteeing everyone, but lots of stuff can be done. And I think that is it for this episode. It's a bit long, it's an hour. Probably should have cut it into 2 parts, but it is an experimental one, it's the first one. Again, let me know what you think, if you like the format. And I'll see you soon, goodbye.